order, please. Everybody, please turn off your cell phones, or not turn them off, or silence them, so we don't get any ringing. Anybody sitting at the circle, you get a ring, it's $50 fine, pay the Randy. Let's go ahead and start with the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Brother Jamie, would you lead us in prayer, please?
Father God, we take this moment to humble ourselves before you. We give you thanks for the many blessings that you've given us. Some of them little ones each and every day, and others big ones that we really truly thank you for. Thank you for the privilege of living here in Morgan County and West Liberty. We pray not only for these who are our leaders in the fiscal court, but for all who work for the county and for our city. We pray for your blessing upon this gathering tonight. We ask you to guide the conversation that takes place and the decisions that are made. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. All right. Thank you, Jamie. Randy, we have a quorum?
We have one.
All right, we have a quorum. Let's go on. Approval of the minutes. For all these things that there's some up here, I don't know what. Any local cooperation, business courthouse bill. Resolution authorizing monitoring fiscal court, building services agreement. Yeah, I've read them already, so. As you guys got them. Any questions or anything? Look good to everybody?
Motion to accept the minutes.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, been properly second to approve the minutes as presented. Any discussion or corrections to the minutes? None? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Whoa. Gotta give me a little pad there. All right, let's move on to the treasurer's report. Tommy, the floor is yours.
I'm going to do the last thing first.
Nice thing first.
I have a few things that I want to comment on tonight, the findings that we continue to have to deal with. First subject is workman's compensation. On an annual basis, we're required to provide CAECO workers' comp fund with wage estimates for the calculation of workers' comp premium. The payroll system provides a coding scheme for classes of employees to help determine the amount of payroll for each class. And there is a very convenient report that will give you the information you need if you just take time to manage that, which was not being done. With workman's comp coverage, the rates vary according to job function. As an example, the premium for a road department worker for $100 payroll is higher than the premium for $100 of payroll of a clerical employee. In other words, a road department employee is at a higher risk of injury as compared to a clerical employee, and thus costs more to insure. What we've found is that the estimates were higher than they should have been for the more expensive classes of employees, thus requiring the county to pay more up front for coverage. Each year there's an annual audit to adjust the estimated payroll to actual and to adjust the premium. But if you report more than you should as estimate, you have to pay more. It's it's an annual premium, so you pay more up front. So they keep a portion of our money tied up for a whole year before we get it back. Second issue is liability insurance. I was informed some time ago by the judge's staff that the former judge had unilaterally instructed the representative of the Kentucky Association of Counties Insurance Program to increase the county's liability insurance coverage from $5 million to $8 million, which resulted in an annual increased insurance premium of over $40,000 more. The KCO representative pointed out to the former judge that only the largest counties in the state had that level of coverage. Again, this was just another example of mismanagement and deception practiced by the former administration. The takeaway here is that the magistrates have the duty and responsibility to review insurance coverage each year as the renewal approaches. You can expect to have a representative from KCO Insurance to visit the court sometime this summer to go over the insurance package with you. Garnishments. We've happened upon an issue concerning employee wage garnishments. This problem was pointed out to me several weeks ago by the finance officer, as she was previously ordered by the former treasurer to pay these garnishments in an incorrect manner. As I was reviewing the general fund appropriation ledger in preparation for this meeting, I happened upon an account entitled Garnishments. At that point, my recollection was supported by the finance officer as to the genesis of this account. You see, these garnishments, which amounted to over $45,000 over the last 5 years, were being withheld from employee pay as part of the normal payroll processing. The proceeds were being parked in the payroll account, which is where they should have been. What's unusual and wrong here is that the former treasurer was having the garnishments paid out of the general fund garnishments account, appropriation account, rather than the payroll. So those funds were being accumulated in the payroll account. You will recall from one of my previous reports that the county had paid over $20,000 of fines to the Kentucky Public Pension Authority, CAPA, for failure to report and settle the account on a timely basis. In my opinion, this process was conceived by the former treasurer as a funding mechanism to pay the fines to CAPA out of the accumulated garnishment funds in the payroll account, again without knowledge of the magistrates. This scenario is absolutely another incredible example of misappropriation of money and a plan of deception to hide the former treasurer's failure to properly carry out the duties and responsibilities of being county treasurer. Next subject is payroll. This morning, we received a notice in the mail from the Kentucky Department of Revenue titled Final Notice Before Seizure. This notice regarding unpaid Kentucky income tax withholding and interest totaling $7,997.34. $1,291.80 of that's interest. And that results from payroll tax withholding from November and December of 2019. By this notice being titled Final Notice Before Seizure, one can comfortably infer that this was not the first time this issue has been presented, and that the previous administration would have no doubt been aware of this. That they chose to ignore this problem just reinforces the callous attitude that the previous administration had regarding rules and regulations that govern employees. We will move to pay that bill tomorrow. Sales taxes. I previously reported that there were sales tax returns that were delinquent from November of 2021, and that I was waiting for web credentials to file those returns. Those returns were filed in early March and payment processed for each of the 15 months that the returns were delinquent. Shortly after the last court meeting, we received a packet of notices from the Kentucky Department of Revenue assessing the fiscal court over $15,000 of additional penalties and interest. On March the 9th, I requested in writing that the assessment of penalties be abated. However, we have not heard anything further from DOR regarding our request. I might add that they did indicate, because we were a government entity, that they would waive the penalties, but we haven't heard from them yet. That's all my comments, Judge, and I'll move on with the rest of it. We have a budget amendment number 4, second reading. This budget amendment has been sent to the Office of Local Government. It was approved as to form and classification on the 8th of March, signed off by Robert Brown, the State Local Finance Officer, and I'm just going to read it by title. An ordinance relating to the annual budget and amendment thereof, whereas Morgan County has realized unbudgeted receipts, be it ordained by Morgan County, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and this is a budget amendment for a total of $45,471.94. And we need action on that.
All right. You guys heard it? Motion.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
All right, and we have a motion on the floor, been properly second, to approve the second
Amendment number 4.
amendment number 4. Is any other questions or discussion? There being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
I have 2 additional budget amendments that we created the last couple days for first reading. Amendment number 5 for a total of $92,038.09. And amendment number 6 for $8,901.07. Again,
Give me the second amount, Tommy, I'm sorry.
$8,901.07.
Okay, thank you.
These budget amendments recognize the receipt of revenue that's over and above what we had budgeted for these particular line items. And generally speaking, it's being parked in the reserve for transfers account. So that's the first reading. There's no action required there. That will be forwarded on to ELG. We have a list of budget transfers. It says budget transfer journal at the top. And we've tried to print this stuff on both sides of the paper to save a little bit of paper. But there have been numerous accounts. We did do a few of these once before, but there have been numerous accounts in the appropriation ledger that were over the limit. And so what these budget transfers do, as a rule, you move money out of the appropriation or transfer account into the line item to either cover the line item to zero or to estimate what the line item may require for the rest of the fiscal year. And in an effort to maintain the budget, you're going to see some of this stuff every month. Particularly the further you go in the fiscal year, the more it takes to keep the budget up to date. I'm not going to go through this in total with you, but the total amount of money involved in all these transfers is $2,390,250. Again, this is budget management. Basically, is all it is. We will need action to approve these, and I'll be glad to field any question that you may have.
with this budget transfer.
I second.
Motion on the floor to approve the budget transfers as presented. Any other questions or discussion? Questions or discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
There's a packet that has 3 pages that says interfund cash transfers. And it's just what it says it is. You transfer money from one fund to another. In the first instance, $3,405 was transferred from the clerk's dock fee account because we'd made a payment before we got this on the book.
Yeah,
So that's paying us back for that.
yeah.
We'll do the third page next. In our budget, and it's been traditionally this way when I was treasurer before, the LGEA, the Local Government Economic Assistance money, generally ends up going completely to the jail fund, to fund the jail fund. And in this case, I transferred $100,000 from LGEA to the jail fund, cash. The second item, you'll recall our discussion at one of our previous meetings about the ARPA fund, Emergency Rescue Plan. We, right after the meeting when you gave us the authority, we pursued that with the attorneys and the fiscal agent to get that deal done for revenue loss. And what they came back to us basically said that you can close the account, take all the money that's in it, transfer it to the general fund. Now, you will recall that I commented earlier that there had been $377,000 transferred out of that account to the general fund without authority. We don't really know why it was, but it was done. There only had been 2 other programs that were approved, and those had been funded. So the problem, or the question we had with the attorneys is, what are we going to do with about the $377,000? Are we going to have to put that back and then transfer the total, or are we just going to transfer what's left? And basically what they instructed us to do was just transfer what's left and close the account. So this $915,254.75 is the remainder of the ARPA money that's being transferred to cash to the general fund. I might also add that in this transfer journal, there's $305,000 of appropriation that was accumulated in that account that we didn't need for anything else. And then there, I moved that to the road fund because we really needed in the road fund. And so that's what these are about, and we'll need these approved as well. Any questions? I'd be glad to answer.
I make a motion to approve the interfund cash transfer.
Second.
A motion on the floor to approve the interfund cash transfers. It's been properly seconded. Any other questions or discussion? There being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
How much did you say that ARPA money was?
$915,254.75.
Thank you.
Okay, you have a standing order page. And you'll see some highlights on that page. What Gina has done, we needed to add expense allowance and health insurance reimbursement that we have to pay. Is it monthly or quarterly? Monthly. Do the standing order. That's both in the general fund and in the jail fund. And so with your approval, we will forward this to the DLG. They have to sign off on it. And that's pretty much it.
All right.
Need a motion?
Need a motion?
Need a motion.
All right. We have a motion on the floor, been properly second to approve the reoccurring expenses for the fiscal court. Any questions, discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
This is, these 2 pages here are informational pages for an analysis of the public property sinking fund accounts that are paying these bond issues. This is something that we were supposed to be doing before it wasn't being done. And again, it's just informational. It shows each month beginning and ending balance. If there's any money that comes into that, it shows twice a year there's scheduled payments, and they can be all interest. In the case of this, it's all been interest. There hasn't been any change with both of them. I was able to find out last week from U.S. Bank and get more background information on these 2 bond issues that we didn't have before. So we will prepare this on an annual basis. In other words, we get these bank statements every month, and so we will transcribe that information onto this to provide you an accounting on an annual basis for that. There's no action required, it's just their information. This document here is follow-up of the findings from the June 30th, 22 audit and corrective actions being taken. I am not going to go over that in detail in this meeting. I will just ask you to, at your leisure, to read this. This is just what we're trying to do, the steps that we're taking to try to remedy the issues with the audit. And there were many, as you recall. So if you have any questions at all about that, feel free to call me. Now I'm going to continue to update this as we go along every month. So you will see this again. There is this page has to do with network security. While there was a new server and other items installed, I guess was it last year? A new server, the year before or something?
This year.
Okay. One critical item that was not changed is the firewall, and it's ancient. And what a firewall does, it protects you from outside internet traffic that you don't want to have access to your network. And believe me, there's a lot of bad stuff out there that you don't want accessing your network. And because of the age of the equipment and the fact that we have no documentation, whatever, to get into it, it would behoove to have to replace it. And so this $879.25 is the proposal to replace the firewall, and there could be a couple or 3 hours of labor involved in it at $80 an hour. But I'm recommending that we do this.
You've actioned on it?
Yeah, they'll need to vote on this. And also, either myself or there was somebody came in the office a while back about network security. I don't remember who it was, somebody in the state, but we're going to have we will have some training for you all at some point about network security, so that you more fully understand why we do this and how we do it, and the need to always be vigilant about network security, because it is a big deal.
Bullitt County got hit with ransomware like a year ago.
Yeah, you're
They
right.
had to pay $400,000 to get their documents straight back
You know,
up.
we have tons of non-personal information from employees and taxpayers that we don't ever want to risk getting in the wrong hands.
We've had businesses here locally, it's been
And
hit.
it's just important that we maintain this.
We have a motion and a second, Judge.
All right, we have a motion and a proper second to approve the money to spend on the reservation systems new firewall for the county network. Any questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
There's another packet in here that says recon on top of it. And basically what this is I'm showing you that I have the account recon up to date through February. This represents a good month's work for me to get this done. And we will move to keep it up to date as soon as the end of each month as we can get the bank statements and get it done, because it's important. We have found, I mean, I couldn't say how many dozen things that we found that's been wrong, and that's why you do bank recon. Everybody makes mistakes. You know, we found a bunch of them. And so it's up to date, and I just wanted to show you this to let you know that it is up to date. And we're gonna work hard at it to keep it that way. Standing order we got, there's a memo item in the packet concerning, the proposed FY24 budget timetable. It's been my experience in the past, and I've done 30-some of them, that you need to get on this budget and get it done to beat the rush at DLG. Because if you wait around to way up in the latter part of May to get it to them, then you may get it back, well, you'll get it back by the end of June, but it might be the last day of June when you get it back. So my proposal, the way we've done before, is that we start on the budget, and we're gonna see the jail budget here in a minute, because it's required to be presented to you before the 1st of April. But at the next meeting, a day or two before that meeting, you're gonna get a proposed budget. We're gonna put it together and submit it to you for your review at the next meeting, next regular scheduled meeting. And if your acceptance of that budget is okay, then that will be sent off to DLG. We'll have it back by the May meeting. We'll have a second reading in the May meeting. And we'll send it off, and we're done. You know, we don't have to dilly-dally around with it, we'll just get it done. So, I'm open to any suggestions that you might have, but that's the way I've always tried to do it. Now, there's a pro forma, it says pro forma financial statement. And what that essentially means in this context, this financial statement encompasses all the stuff, the budget amendments, everything that we talked about today, because I want you to see how it affected right now. There's two financial statements. There's one with all the unpaid bills, and then there's another one with only the current unpaid bills. And what we do is we keep those bills that we inherited in a separate batch, and we keep moving them along, and as we make payments on them, we reduce the balances. And we've been making these 10% payments, as we informed you before. But this financial statement also has your appropriation condition report and your revenue condition report. as of today. And, lot of stuff here, if you know, if there's anything that you have questions about, I mean, the effort has been made to try to just get this straightened up the best way we could. To get the line items corrected that were overdrawn and to recognize the revenues that had come in. Get them amended into the budget. And, you know, we're gonna have budget amendments probably about every month. We're gonna have one or two every month going forward, because that's what it takes to manage and maintain your budget. And again, I know this is a lot to throw at you at once, but look it over. You know, I'm always here somewhere if you have questions. Also in the packet, there's 2 vendor claims registered. One that's pretty much all paid, all right? The other one includes bills that we've paid. The ones that have the check mark on them are the ones that we've paid since the last meeting. And the others are vendor claims to be approved tonight. And so, what I would ask you to do, and we can wait until the end of the meeting to do this, because I think the vendor claim is later on, isn't it?
Yeah, that's at the end of the meeting.
We can wait on that, but I'm going to ask you, as I have before, to ratify what we've already paid, in addition to approving the vendor claims to be paid.
Want to do that now?
Now, we'll do it towards the end, in case they want to look at it, so in the meantime. Now, the last thing I have, as I said a few minutes ago, we are required to present the jail fund budget, the fiscal year 24 proposed jail fund budget, that's this page here, to the fiscal court before the first day of April each year. So Jim and Tina and I sat down with Jimmy Darrell, was it last week or week before, I don't even remember now, and went through the budget, discussed with him, you know, various things, his best guesstimate of contracts, example with other counties. We found out that's going up 20%, was that right? That's going up 20%. You know, a lot of things in a budget based on historical numbers, and a lot of this is. But in situations where you know that you're going to get a hit, then you got to take that into account. And so, as always, for many, many years, you can see that the receipts part of the budget is $102,850. That's money coming in from the items noted there to the jail fund. But if you come on down to the summary of appropriations by category, you'll see that the total expenditures are $695,360. So what that means is that when we do our budget, we're going to have to come up with $592,510. That's the yellow number. I think it was 700 and some thousand last year, if I remember correctly. So this is the jailer's proposed budget. Take a look at it. If you're satisfied with it, you have any questions, Jimmy Darrell's in the audience. I'm here. Be glad to answer anything you have. But, bottom line is we need to proposed budget approved at tonight's meeting. And then when we start working on our budget, which will probably start on it next week, this will be incorporated into our budget.
I make a motion to accept the jail budget.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to accept the proposed jail bucket, the fiscal year 24 proposed jail budget. Any further questions, discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Yeah, that's all I have.
That's all you have?
That's enough, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's all we need from the treasurer tonight. All righty, let's moving along. Roads and Bridges report. Anthony, you're up.
Yeah.
What'd you do with Terry?
He's sick.
He's sick? All right. We'll let him off tonight.
Here you are. That's it, Judge. I think everybody else got one.
It's for me. Brought me more paper.
Yeah. Plenty of it. Roads this month, we've used 375 gallon of gas, 615 gallons of diesel. We're about caught up on our gravel of the roads that's been turned in so far. There's still a few that we can get to, but we've
Yeah, I got some more for you on my desk.
Okay. I afraid there's more suffers.
Yeah, there's more coming.
I had one bus turned in today. It was turned in about 1 o'clock. There's another one that we got to fix a pipe up on Buckner Branch.
Yeah.
But other than that, on the bus turns, that's the only two that we've had on bus turns so far. This month. Jobs to be completed. There's some of those jobs that's on there that was on there from the previous time. We've been waiting on some material to come in and stuff to get those fixed. The pack lane issue with the FEMA, it's underway now. I think the judge has been up there and the contractor's been up there, and I think they're getting ready to get started.
We're going to request emergency funds for that from the state. So they're going through FEMA so we can get it fixed.
Yeah. But that is getting taken care of. I know that was one thing last meeting we had. And then as I can say, you guys can look over and anything that you've called in that I've missed, I apologize. But like I say, just get back with me. I'm pretty sure we've got everything up to date there. You flip on back, I've got another quote here for some more tractors that came in after the packet that I gave to y'all the last time. They're saying it'd be 9 to 10 months before they could even consider it. This is the same size tractors, we looked at Holbrooks and stuff. And then if you flip on back, I got another proposal from Boyd Cat on a backhoe. You can see there, I went through some of it with you. It's $136,237.33 is what it is. But if you done the government lease, I think it was, look here, there's different ones. On the government lease for the backhoe for 48 months was $2653.40 a month and a balloon payment of $34,240 at the end, at the end of 48 months. And with HIT and the excavator, the two tractors at Holbrooks, the Kubotas, the front end loaders and the back blades and the mowers and everything on them, if we done everything at 48 months, I think it was $92 or $9300 a month, with the ending balance on the excavator being like $28,000, the ending balance on the backhoe being at $34,000, and then the ending balance on the tractors at 48 months being $1. So with all that being said, you're looking at, might as well say, roughly $10,000 a month until the end, and you're looking at approximately $65,000 at the end of 4 months, at the end of the 48 months. Got any questions or anything, guys?
Yep. What do we need to do to go ahead and buy these tractors? And then let's just,
What the plan is, I'm meeting with these guys in the morning, Tommy. We're gonna make the final selection, and then we're gonna come have a special call meeting ASAP and knock this out.
We don't have information from Holbrook about whether he has a state price contract or not.
Yeah, we're waiting on him.
If we don't have a state price contract, we have to take it to bid.
I'd really rather not do that. I'd rather do a state contract, because if we go to bid, it's gonna turn.
I talked to him today. He was supposed to go with his secretary or whoever it was up there that got that information for him. He said they was, but I have to still have the paper that's stating he is. And I'm hoping that when I go in the morning, he'll have it already on,
We're waiting on the paper.
emailed to me. So other than that, that's all we're waiting on there. And like I say, we've got numerous ones, but I think that's the best route to go there. And that is the 90 horse tractors, 4-wheel drive, and which the box blade and the grader blade will be separate. And I think it was like what, 7,000 for both of those. But I think that was something that we was gonna work on later, just trying to buy straight out instead of having a payment on.
Yeah.
What's the 416, the laboratory backhoe?
Yeah,
What's that for?
the backhoe, we need one. We ain't got one.
That's probably the best piece of equipment we've got.
Yeah, but we ain't got it. The dumps blowed up, they ain't got one. They've got our backhoe, and we ain't got one.
I think we're gonna take the old excavator up there instead of sit there, get my garbage down, and that'd save a lot of money. That was, I don't know. That's my opinion.
Oh, what was that again?
I've already been running right now.
To buy a new backhoe for it just to go up there and mash garbage down. We got
We
got
could,
good cat
Well, the
backhoes.
new backhoe's not gonna mash garbage down, that's gonna be.
no,
what you guys.
that's coming to us, but
Yeah, I know, but I mean, I think we can buy a dump truck or something like that that we need before we can go do something
Well,
with garbage with.
You gonna do what? You gonna buy a dump truck?
Huh?
You gonna do what? You wanna do what?
Yeah, what you could buy that backhoe for to go up there and be tore up, I'd buy some dump trucks or something else that we could use.
well, you look at it this way, I can see what you're saying too, but with the excavator right now, the one that we got, if we send it up there, it's already had the boom and everything being on it once there. The hydraulic pump started pouring the oil this morning when we went out there. So we filled it back up again to go down to fix a break on 519 Yoakum Road. How long it's going to stay up, it's already starting whenever you try to, it's been doing it for a while. It'll take times it'll pull and times it won't pull. You start up on something and there you go. It'll sit there and hum and then it finally catch or whatnot. So I'm just saying, I mean, this is up to you guys. I just show you what I've got and this is all I've got. I mean, but that's the choices we've got and the excavator in hand. I don't know how long it'll last if you did take it up there.
We can keep on dealing with junk like we've been doing. If you wanna do that, that's fine. I mean, we can keep on dealing with junk and keep finding ourselves in the situation we're in now. Or we can go ahead and get something that works and have it for a few years.
Well, that's true too, but I mean, when you got one up there and it's parked because it's got a noise in it, and then they run it, and then.
Well, is that the one how much did we spend on that one last time already? How much money we already put into that thing?
Which you talking about he's talking about the backhoe making a noise.
The
And it
backhoe
blowed up.
making the noise?
Yeah.
The backhoe that made the noise, it blowed
Oh,
up.
that was-
It's a 2.010.
Oh, is that the one down at the,
Yeah, we need a maintenance program. I know we need-
oh, that's the other thing we're working on too. There will be a preventive maintenance program
I mean, I
starting
just don't
too.
see spending that kind of money that you haven't been taken care of.
Now, they're gonna have to take care of it.
Now, they gotta take care of it. When they get that down there will be a preventive maintenance program and that group is getting ready to be pulled in next, so.
Yeah, I'm 100% like Donnie,
Yeah.
and how did they win the blue one excavator crushing garbage?
Yeah.
And they broke the front end out from under a backhoe this week. Crushing
Yeah,
garbage.
I mean, you know.
I know. I told you, that's getting ready, we're getting ready to have a conversation about that
Do
too.
we retrain? Do we?
And
what do we do?
I'm not ready to talk about that yet, but there's a plan that's getting ready to happen and I'll be talking to you about.
There's something that needs to
Yeah.
be, I mean, it just,
But I mean,
Well, nobody's done it in the last 4 or 8 years. I mean, and.
and I understand we've left
Yeah.
it alone because of this stuff, but I mean, it's just, I don't know.
Yeah, nobody's seemed to have a problem with it for the last 4 years.
Anything else?
So you're not gonna bid none of the equipment?
Not if I can do a state program, because if I bid, then it's gonna become a process. And whereas state, we can go in
Well,
and,
if you got more than one, we can do a state contract.
It doesn't matter, you can pick whatever you want.
You pick out whatever you want.
Contract.
as long as
You don't have to bid.
you pick the one with the best deal.
The
you make a
bidding's
bid.
already been done,
Yeah.
so say.
Well, if I'm better deal.
Well, That's up to whatever you wanna do.
Yeah, we can push this into the summer.
It don't
Yes.
have to be bid, you don't want bid.
We can push this, we can keep on pushing this down the road, kick this can
I
further.
don't think we'll buy nothing without a bid.
I like to bought it last month, whatever's available. We need-
Yeah.
I mean, we need.
We don't
Yeah.
have
Grass and
normal
grass.
tractors, we don't have nothing.
We don't have nothing down there, guys. I mean, we can start a bid process and go through that and kick the can further down the road, but we're reaching a point.
It saves money, and it's
Well, how much money are you looking to save versus not being able to provide services to the
on my
county?
house still, it's laid out and it's valuable.
Right here, everything I give y'all the last time, that's everything I've got.
Yeah.
And then what I was time before, that's the bids, that's the places I can get a hold of, that's the places got back with me. That's all I've got, and that's it. I mean, I don't know what else to get.
The bids on them right there was $18,500, some difference on the same tractor as last time from another bid.
Now, that was the ones that had the smaller tractors that you was
That was the
talking.
same. It was the same tractor.
You talking different brands?
Because it was spec'd out, printed out on paper.
The same tractors.
Yes.
Well, that's like I say, you all look it over, whatever you want, that's fine with me. Y'all do what you gotta do.
Now, on some of them, John Deere told me one time, they wouldn't lease. They had to buy truck.
And then we can't afford it all year long.
I mean, you know, that was
That's true.
check
You
prices.
you just pick out what you want. You spec it with everything you want on it, and you spread it out to these dealers. You can send them to Ohio, wherever. You need to get as many as you can get that want to get on it. That's how you get the cheapest price.
I agree with you there. A lot of them don't have it either.
Yeah, there's a supply chain issue
They
too.
can't get it.
It's gonna take a while. I mean, if it's gonna take 10 months to get 2 tractors, I mean, you just about it. It backs against the wall, you back.
Yeah.
It's better than that.
You know,
One can get them like an auto deal. That comes from some factory. They have to do them.
All I know is like Brandon said, we're in a time frame here, and we're just now finding out what we can and can't do. And
I made it 4 years, with not much more than a shovel and rake. I made it 4 years, with not much more than a shovel and rake.
you say it again?
I said they made it 4 years with not much more than a shovel and a rake.
You hear that?
Did you say the bush hog was available over at?
That's the Holbrook, with the Holbrook, at Holbrook, so they would be available within a month and a half, he said. That's the earliest one we could get. On par as the bush hogs, when I talked to them.
You call Amberg?
Amberg's, I called Thompson, Amberg, that now Sterling. They told me, when I told them I done got one from Holbrook, they said he can get Kubota stuff a lot quicker and faster than we can. I called a guy in Lexington down there, and he said I can't even compete with him. He said he sells the same stuff I do, and he said I have to go to him to get the stuff that I got. He said when I need it sometimes. So that's the guy that.
one thing about Holbrook, he too said that on the tractor, if one of them broke down, he would load one up, bring it where it broke down, bring another tractor, hook it up, take the other back in and fix it.
Yep.
You would never have no downtime.
And you're not going to get that from anybody in Ohio or some of these far off places. That ain't going to happen.
No, mine was from the last time.
Yeah.
That's what. No, that's Eric's. Eric brought it. I forgot to bring one. That's all I have.
All right, thanks, Anthony. Sheriff's report.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hope everyone's doing well this evening.
You know this guy?
Seen him a couple times.
Have you? All right. He's all right.
I used to give him a lot of spankings when he was little.
You do?
Yeah,
Who does the spanking now?
he spanks me now.
He still spanks? Oh,
So,
you turning red. What's going on? I think you embarrassed your brother. We don't do this more often. All right, what you got for us?
so the sheriff asked me to give a report. So I said, well, what do you want to do? You want me to tell him how many steps I walk in the high school every day, or what do you want me to give up? He said, well, I'd rather for you just to give up what we do as the entire agency. I said, well, I thought it was all about me. So anyway, so the sheriff's office in 2022, we'll go back to last year. We've got all of our stuff in and everything. We worked 130 collisions in the county and investigated 127, had 127 criminal investigations, and we answered 3,449 calls for service. So that's about, take that divided by 365, it's about nine and a half calls for service a day. It ranges from, I have the report of everything that we answered. It went from, I think, it has domestic violence calls, domestic disputes, and we had one cat complaint last year. So I wanted to make sure you all knew that we did answer a call on a cat complaint.
All right.
So this year so far, since January, we have investigated 30 collisions. We've had 575 calls for service, and we have answered or investigated so far 32 criminal investigations that we've opened for investigation, and we've had so far this year. I didn't see that on the 2022 report, but we've issued. They've been 19 EPOs issued, which is emergency protective orders that we serve, and that's just emergency protective orders, which is domestic violence orders. That's what those are, and of course we're always doing vehicle inspections and serving civil papers for the court, and then we have our court security officers down there that provide security for the courthouse or the judicial center every day that it's open. So stay pretty busy. The SROs, we have 4 SROs right now, and we go to school every day, and we go to all functions after school, ball games. I even go to school board meetings when I can. If there's something, the soccer game takes precedence over anything, because you have to go to soccer games because they get really hyped up at soccer games. Have you ever been there?
Yeah,
So soccer games take precedence over whatever else is going on that night. So, any questions? Also, we've had some complaints recently on the vehicles driving reckless and speeding on the county roadways, and so we've tried to work these county roadways. It's hard to work traffic on county roadways because they're 14 foot wide, and once you turn up Little Caney up there, guess what? Everybody on Little Caney knows that you're up there, don't they? So one thing is that we've talked about, they always say they're speeding and everything, and I know there's other charges, but the speed limit on these roads are 55 unless otherwise marked according to statute. So I don't know if there's ever been any discussion on even in the past about speed limits for county roads. I think that's just up to you all, up to the fiscal court, but that would possibly, if there's some roads we're having trouble on, we could put a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit or a 25-mile-an-hour speed limit sign up there. It may help just detour the traffic a little bit. Or
now, as I understand it, to do that though, we have to, put a thing across the road.
I think you have to do a traffic.
You have to do a traffic survey or whatever.
Yeah, I think you do.
You got to get the data on it, right?
And it is, but there are I think there are a few signs here and there on some roads out in the county, but on county roads, but very few. So And the only other thing we have been getting, I think, maybe, I don't know if maybe one of you all called the sheriff or something. I think we're getting a lot of four-wheelers. It's getting that time of the year again. Everybody's out on their four-wheelers on the road and everything. One time, years ago, I don't know if this was still be in effect even, but when I was working the road for the state police, which would have been 2006 and prior, when I was actually working here, there was some roads that was designated for four-wheelers. Do any of y'all remember that? You could actually ride a four-wheeler on that road, and law enforcement really couldn't, as long as
Around that
you.
trailheads, wasn't it?
I think it was around all.
Trail rides?
Yeah, like you could ride on this road to get to this next trail, and
Yeah, they're coming back with that. That's,
Yeah.
if we become a trail town or a county,
Yeah.
that'll go back into effect again.
okay. So I don't know. We're trying to. The people, what you find is the people that will obey the law, and you'll see them. They're on the road. They stop for you. You hate to write those people a ticket because they really wasn't doing anything. You know, they was riding on the road, but they were going 15 mile an hour, going from one field to another, a mile up the road, and the ones that run from you is the ones that you really want to get a hold of, but you usually can't get a hold of them. So, I don't know, any questions?
I heard you guys went out and did an IED the other day. Don't want to talk about that. It turned out to be fake, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, all right.
You want me to tell that story? You want me to tell it?
Lord, help me. I just want to see if your face was turned red.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Yeah,
That was just
all right.
yesterday, I think, or day
That was
before
history.
yesterday.
That was history. All right.
Yeah, we had an IED, but we
I'll
took
tell you
care
guys
of it.
about that when the camera turns on.
Took care of it.
So,
Handled.
here's a big question for you and for Miles. And Jim,
Yeah.
whatever you told the person up on 460 at work,
Yeah.
they did get a lot of the plastic up around the river.
Did it?
There was still a lot of plastic they could have gotten up, but there's two things. They dug a dozer, they've dug a hole and they buried it. Whatever, I don't know.
Huh.
That pipe goes under.
Uh-huh.
The second thing, it's all right there in front of their farm, but it's strung probably a mile on down the
Still
river.
further up?
It's everywhere.
All right. They were told to remove all of it.
They did not remove a very low percentage of it. It's from, well, I don't care to tell it, it's from Randolph Fredericks all the way past the Gordonport Bridge, by Roy Collins Farm, Henry Atkins Farm, all the way down through there. It's strung in the trees.
All right.
I don't know if this is something that can be criminal, but it needs something.
It's handled by another agency, which they've been told it's going to be coming in if they don't go clean that up. So I'll get back in with them
I
again.
was some of that you'll have to get from the river.
Yep.
Because it's not, the trees are laying down on the river. I mean, you've got to climb a tree or have some kind of arm to get out.
Yeah.
It's all the way down through.
Yeah, I think they cleaned up the area that everybody can see, but if you look on around there, it's all the way around.
If you go up Gordon Ford Road and look over the hill there, you can, because I go up Gordon Ford Road every day. So I can see it, but
And thinking of that, there's two properties, and this was asked, so I have to ask. If a person dumps on their own property, is there anything that can be done about it? Two properties that one person called me about, I didn't know. The second one, you passed it. You go that way. But it's coming down into the road, one property. The second one is going down to just a hall. But,
Talk to me.
yeah.
A holler can almost turn into a good line stream.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is not far. Neither one's straight across from the river on the road. And the second one runs into the river. But both of those.
There's a way. Talk to me. Let me talk to me after the meeting.
All right, appreciate it.
No problem. All right. Thank you, Deputy.
thank you all.
Tell the sheriff we missed him. Wellness Center report. Robin, your turn.
Kathy is out sick, so I will be giving you a very brief report. That way you'll have a visual instead of just idle numbers thrown out at you. Okay, what I'm going to tell you today is from March the 1st through yesterday. Total visitors or sign-ins at the center have been 2,419, and this is on the Wellness Center side. This does not include the bowling alley side or bowling center side. The money taken in on the Wellness Center side is $2,184, and this is also March 1st to March 22nd. Concessions, $1,830, and our concessions is adding stuff every day. She's adding stuff to that menu every day, salads, just different things. Bowling Center, as of yesterday, we had taken in $4,530 on our side. The ATM, we took in $31. We had 31 transactions. The arcade, we counted out $251.50 just out of the few games that we have right now.
I
And
was
for
up there
the
last night, there's $142 in that, the quarters in that dang, what do you call it? That new
air
thing?
hockey,
Air hockey, yeah.
he's actually supposed to be bringing one this afternoon sometime or this evening, some kind of other game. But the to-date totals, that's as of yesterday. Total visitors signed in 7,983. Money taken in on the Wellness Center side, $6,107. Concessions, $6,574. And for the Bowling Center side, as of yesterday, and this does not include the school that we had down there today, we had Easdale Elementary, we have taken in $17,012.50 just for March. ATM up to date, $70, and the arcade games are $312 in just the month or 5 weeks that we've had them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good. That's good. That's some good numbers. Anybody got any, hey, Robin, don't go away yet. Anybody got any questions for Robin?
No questions, no autographs, please.
All right, you're lucky. Nobody's got questions for you. We'll let you go. All right. Ambulance board. Linda has resigned from the ambulance board, so I got to appoint a new person. And I was looking around. Sandy McClure used to be an EMT. She used to work up there. She's got a background in all of that. I thought she would be a good appointment to that. And if that's who I would like to submit to you guys now for approval of that, if you're willing to go along with it.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. Let's properly second to appoint Sandy McClure to the Morgan County Ambulance Board. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Another, I said that's the ambulance board. Water board appointment, another one on that. Got Raina Hilton. Anybody here doesn't know Raina? All right, Raina, she works at East Kentucky Appalachian Wireless. She's a compliance officer. I thought that background and some of her other backgrounds as paralegal, and also as she worked at the bank. She's dealt with numbers, and I thought she would make an excellent appointee to that to help them, especially with compliance and a lot of the federal and state and local regulations that they come up against doing this. So I thought she'd make an outstanding contribution to it. She's a long-time Morgan County in here, and she's got nothing but the best interest in the county. And I'd like to put forth her nomination as the next member of the Morgan County Water District Board.
Make a motion to accept the Raymond.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded. Any further to appoint Raina Hilton as on the Morgan County Water District Board? Any questions or discussions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Paul B. Gillett Road closure. That's the one we've had the signs placed up there, so that's all we followed. We fulfilled all our obligations to do everything to close that road. And so now we just need a motion to close it and take it out of the system.
Will there be signs put up? Will the county put signs up? No outlet, road closed,
End of county maintenance, something like that.
no maintenance?
Road closed to through traffic or something like that.
Right.
Yeah, I got no problem. I can do that. We'll do something.
Now, where this is not being taken completely out,
Yeah.
it will still stay on the map as Paul B. Gullet Road to the top of the hill, or however we're going to do it.
Yeah, where the part that hasn't been taken out will stay on that map. As I've been looking at. Well, you got some
roads.
Yes,
Top of the road down.
yeah, well, yeah, that's 3 different roads. That's right. That's this one.
Three?
Yeah, this thing's 3 different roads.
Cemetery Road and Paul B. Gullet Road.
Yeah,
Pricey.
yeah.
I thought they just did.
No, there's 3. There's 3 of them. It threw me for a loop.
You still got the Paul B.
No pun
Gullet.
intended.
Yeah. Well, yeah, that turns in without the county.
Yeah. Yeah, I kept looking at that map trying to figure that out. And I was like- Yeah, it was a mess. But all right. Next up.
That is a complete motion.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I'll second.
Yeah. All right. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Moving along to the continuity of government. All right. You guys are gonna love this. We have to say something happens to me. We have to continue operating. Let's say there's a disaster and I get knocked out and killed, who knows what. Continuity government has to keep going. We researched this. Miles sent us an email today. We looked at it, and the way this works is if something happens to me, then it's recommended or it's told we go to the next magistrate that had the highest votes. That's the reason I came up. I had that. Got that list from me today. Yeah, I think you were out.
Yeah.
And so it goes in succession of the votes. The person with the most votes would be Mr. Tommy Fannin at 700 and something. Yeah. The other one was 728 votes, Tommy Fannin, so that would put him as the first line in succession. Second line in succession would be Leroy Phipps with 546 votes. Third line of succession would be Eric Pelfrey with 535 votes. Fourth line would be Brandon Evans with 468, and then Donnie Keaton with 558. So that would be the line of succession that we would go in. So in other words, he becomes my bodyguard because he don't want this.
Nothing's gonna happen to you.
That's right. We can't. Yeah. We gotta. Well, you know, you ain't kidding. You're right.
How about that?
Yeah, we can't ride together. We can't. No
That's
more.
what it be, that's what.
Yeah. I'm sorry, man.
Two of them been riding the helicopter at the same time.
It's like I can't go to the conferences with you there, Tom.
Does that need a?
Need a motion.
Need a motion.
Make a motion that we approve the continuity of government.
All right, we have a motion on the floor to approve the continuity of government as presented. It's been properly seconded. Any discussion or questions?
You want that line of succession?
I want that line of succession put in there. I want that part of the minutes in case anybody ever asks.
Gotcha.
All right. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Appointment of applicant agent. I'd like to nominate Vanessa Elam. She's done that for years. She did it during the tornado. She was the applicant agent during that. Right now it's Vicky. And so we're going to move that over to her and let Vanessa start taking it up. I mean, she does the agricultural grants, and so she's got time to do this as well. And we're going to, the regional EM has said he will come in and help her, give her all the help she can to get her back up and get this, get us going with it again. So, but that's the nomination I'm putting forward on that. Need a motion on that?
I make the motion. Second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, been properly seconded to appoint Vanessa Elam as the applicant agent for Morgan County. Any questions or discussion? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Moving along. Approval of joint resolutions of the emergency operations plan. What we're asking here is an approval as the plan currently stands. It's already been approved by the state, so now we just need to approve it locally. I will say there's corrections that we're gonna have to make, so we'll be coming back a year from now to approve this again. There's some things in there, it's minor stuff, but right now we do need, we have to get it approved tonight, and then we can move forward after that and fix the minor stuff, stuff in it. So we need a motion on that.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
We have a motion on the floor, been properly second to approve the emergency operation plan as it currently stands. All in favor? Or any discussions first? Questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. All right, moving right along. Oh, we got rain on here again. We already did that.
Reinforcement board.
Oh, yeah, reinforcement board. Oh, yeah, we got, I'm not pointing you. We got 3 members we have to appoint for the, I'm adding Vicky to that.
Okay.
Sorry, Vicky, I forgot to tell you.
Back last fall, you all approved,
Yeah.
well, 3 of you out of 5.
Yeah.
Approved Judd McCowan and Steve Eaton for the Democrat and Republican.
Yeah.
I was going back to my notes from 2011, and it has to have 3 members on that board.
Yeah,
And that'll give us people from 3 different precincts.
yeah,
And that's to look at the county's boundary line populations
Yeah.
in each magisterial district to make sure that we're in compliance or that it works for us.
yeah. Well, we have to do that this year, so we need
Has to
that
be done
commission.
by May, so
Has
we'll
to be
probably
done
meet
by
first
May.
part of April.
Yeah, we got to appoint these folks and get them nominated. Randy, you're a non-voting member, right?
That's correct.
All right.
And that's Vicki Lewis.
And Vicki Lewis.
Do you want to set the pay rate for that?
Yeah, I'd like to set that pay,
meeting day?
I'd like to set that pay rate tonight so we can have that all settled before we get into this.
That way I can go ahead and have a meeting with them.
Yeah, that way you can get started on this. And plus we got, they're coming in to talk to us about all this anyway, next week or so. So we'll probably have to pull them all together.
You went to Gateway to a meeting, did some counties pay, it's just a little too much
$2,000 is what they want now.
per person?
No. Oh, you're talking about them. I was just talking about the payment for Gateway.
No. Payment for,
Yeah,
we may have to meet one day, but I'm talking an hour.
yeah,
And I'll give everybody the materials about
yeah.
their population for each precinct, each magisterial district. And we may have to come back another. Last time we did this, 2011, we met, it was about an hour-long meeting.
Yeah, and so what, $100 or something?
That's what the tax appeals board gets.
Yeah, that's what the tax appeals board did. I think that's fair. And, you know,
That's just for the 3 voting members.
That's
That will
just
be
a-
compensation.
yeah.
I'll make a motion to pay $100 for each person. And appoint Vicki Lewis.
And appoint Vicki Lewis. all right.
Dominic second? Okay.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to approve Vicki Lewis to the what's that word again? Reapportionment board. Also, a motion says $100 of pay for each member of the board, excluding Randy. All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Get that done. The Morgan Menifee MOU. Brandon's been waiting for this forever. All right, this MOU is already in place. You all got copies of it, right? This was, how old is that thing? What is it? 2000, yeah, so this has been around a while. Menifee County is doing all this already. The only thing they're not getting is the flex and discretionary funds for these roads. And if you look on that last page, it has all the roads listed. And so what I'm asking for tonight is we turn these roads over to Menifee County and let them collect the flex and discretionary money on those roads. So they'll take care of them. Because right now, they're taking care of everything else over there. I mean, they're doing snow removal, they're picking up garbage. Their kids are going to the schools in Menifee County, and so it's kind of a weird situation. It's very hard. They're taking care of our emergency services over there because by the time our ambulance service or our fire trucks or anybody gets over there, it's hard to get there from here. So what I would like to do is go ahead, and I've talked to Rick and David Hill both came to my office, and I've talked to David in other meetings about this, and he's assured me that he will take care of those roads and our citizens over there, and I believe him, and I think Brandon's had this discussion with him too, right, Brandon?
I've talked to Rick several times,
Yep.
and he's graciously said that he would help us out over there, so.
Yeah.
And they've done a good job with snow removal and mowing around the way.
And if we have any, we got to look into, do we have any current flex or discretionary money on those roads?
No, we've requested everything, so we don't.
We don't have anything on?
No, not right now.
So there's nothing else we can put on that, but any future money that comes off those roads, I think it should go to Menifee County and let them deal with it.
Because we've closed out all except.
We've got some money for Watts Branch.
Yeah, that's
Discretionary
clear.
money.
Well, what about White's Branch? Was that
I've sent in the request.
We have it, it's not been done.
It's not been
No.
approved, right?
Well, the money's allocated, the money's there, it's just never spent. So I spoke with Barry Davis with Transportation.
It was
We've still,
approved.
we've got that, it's about $143,000.
They gave it to us already, the money?
No.
Oh, all right.
No, the
That's
work's
good.
not been done.
The note that I read hasn't been approved, but now I've not talked to them about it. That was just the note that was carried over from last administration. It
Okay,
had not
well,
been approved.
Well, let's follow up on that and determine that, because if that's something that can be approved,
Yeah.
if it has to come to us, we'll take it and we'll go up and fix it. And ourselves,
Yeah,
if it's,
So let me ask you this, you mentioned flex and discretionary, that's fine, but now, are they, county road aid money, they're gonna get the county road aid money for this too, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
they'll get all funds that come to those roads. As I see that should be right, if they're gonna take care of them, I mean, if it stops and there's start problems, we can always go back and address it and pull out of it.
Has there been an amendment done to this agreement yet?
Miles, have you had a chance to look at this yet?
On
That MOU?
Yeah, I looked at it. It looks like it takes care of the snow and ice removal and the 911 calls. It doesn't say anything about the road maintenance, so if there's like a crack.
See, that was my question, that's why I sent it over to you.
That's the only thing it kind of leaves out that I would be worried about, because some of these people that contact me, they say, well, the road's in really, really bad shape. So what this does is it does everything to fix that,
So I was thinking there was gonna be an amendment done to this agreement that included, maintenance to the roads.
Yeah.
It can be. I mean, the only one is now is the 2005 agreement, and either side can get out of that anytime they want to. So, you could just, you could make the agreement that we want it to be the maintenance of the road itself also, and they can accept it or they cannot accept it.
Yeah.
Both sides have to come to an agreement. If both sides don't come to an agreement, there's no agreement.
I believe in my discussion with Rick Stilton, the county judge in Menifee County, he's under the impression that they're gonna maintain these roads. There's 18 miles of road out there, they're gonna maintain.
Well, that'd be good, because we just add a sentence that says, it's also the road maintenance, and it looks like to take care of it.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I was under the impression there was already, the amendment had already been.
No, it's not in there. We need to amend it tonight and put that in there.
Okay.
And then, once we amend it, I think he's already amended it last month at his meeting.
Yeah, okay.
And then we amend it, and then we put that in there, then we have to go to Frankfurt and get Frankfurt to approve it.
So you want to vote to amend the agreement tonight?
I want to vote to amend the agreement tonight to include all roads, maintenance, and flex discretionary and road aid fund, and all, funding for the maintenance. To say all funding that way.
We approved this to redraw this agreement, have it signed fresh.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we just add a line and just have another signature. The old one's almost 20 years old
Well, I was gonna say,
anyway.
why can't we just redraw the whole thing and fix it?
Yeah, we can't, that's what
Get
we're gonna
current
do.
signatures on it and everything.
That's what I think we should do, yeah.
So just we'll do the whole agreement over.
I mean,
So are we adding an amendment, or we're gonna?
It's the same mechanism, okay? Because right now, we're operating under a 2005 agreement.
Yeah.
Yes, Menifee County did their thing last month, but that doesn't change our obligations up to this point.
Right.
We will change it. Yeah, it's an amendment. Basically, all it is taking the old one and adding one. So you can call it an amendment, you can call it a brand new, and that don't really matter. It's just
Yeah.
what we ratify, and then they'll have to ratify it again in Menifee County since we added on the additional road maintenance issue.
Right.
Because it says each county bearing responsibility, basically.
Right.
Yeah. That's the only thing that I saw was missing. Everything else, it looked like it was good. As I said, it had emergency services, it had snow and ice removal, it had, basically everything else. It's just, it was conspicuously left out
Exactly.
that there's no road maintenance.
That was my concern. And so what we need is a motion to ratify the amendment as it stands ratify the agreement as it stands with an amendment to include all roads maintenance and all funding for those roads.
I'll make a motion to what you just said.
I'll second.
Oh, you guys gonna make me repeat that. All right, we have a motion on the floor, it's been properly second to ratify the 2005 MOU Menifee concerning roads and what else is on the agreement? Whatever else is in that 2005 agreement, and with an amendment to transfer,
To include maintenance and
to include maintenance and transfer of funds for all road funding for those particular roads is on that list. And that thing.
Is that listed as packet?
That list is in that package, so you can attach those roads on there later.
Motion second.
We have a motion, so it's, we have a motion and a second, and any further discussion on this topic? There being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Congratulations, Don. Congratulations to me too. Thank you, Rick Stiller. Okay, moving along. We did the MOU, resolution for electronic poll and book grant. Randy?
I'll make this real brief. Last month or month before last, you approved that we will go with 10X as our supplier, our vendor. And those things are ready to ship to us. And the bill's going to be just shy of $33,000. This resolution is a generic resolution that State Board of Elections sent to me, and all I do is put their pertinent information in, get it approved by the court. First thing in the morning, if you guys approve it, I've got a grant application I filled out and signed. So hopefully we'll get our reimbursement before the end of this fiscal year. If not, it's going to be on, and there's going to be $33,000 worth of county money tied up. But they assured us that if I get this in this week, that we'll get our reimbursement quickly.
This is it right here.
That's it. All I have to do is type in the county name and the amount that we were allotted. If you see that, we're allotted up to $106,000 and some change. Now, I'm gonna go back after the end of this fiscal year and try to buy us 2 or 3 more of those big scanners that the ballot scans into, because right now we're one shy. We're working on a loaner from ES&S, and if we had a breakdown, we'd have to go to the emergency plan, which is voting paper ballots and lock boxes. We need spares. So that would be reimbursed too. It's just a matter of applying for it. So I just need a motion to approve the resolution.
I'll make a motion, approve this resolution.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion on the floor, been properly second to approve the resolution for electronic poll book grant. Any further questions or discussion? There being none, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Next topic is resolution for a tourism grant. Got contacted by State Tourism a couple weeks ago, and they have $17,582 with a matching from us. That would be 1,000. Well, 10% of that, $1,758.52. And I'd like to go ahead and make this resolution. What I'd like to do is create a county tourism. I'll use this, I've already talked to Gateway, and I've already talked to the city, and they have no problem with it. And what we can do with this, we can go ahead and get Gateway Ad to create us a strategic plan, and then we'll use the rest of the money to go ahead and build a web page and create tourism for Morgan County. And this will fall in line with some of the other stuff we're getting to do with trails and all the other stuff we're going to do with the county. And we can also really group projects with city tourism as well, West Liberty tourism. And we can help each other out with that. But this will help us out in the county and to do things out there as well, especially some of the things we're looking to do. We can post pictures of some of the things to do around here and get those on there, like some of the nature scenes, adventure tourism, ecotourism, and all that. But that's something down the road, and this is the base of it. We'll start with this, and we'll go from there. So I'm asking for a motion for this resolution for the Morgan County Fiscal Court so we can apply it for this money for the Department of Tourism.
Do we have a copy of that?
You have a copy of it?
There'll be a tourism board that.
Yes, there'll be a
So
tourism
once you
board.
get the grant, like in the next meeting or two, you'll set it to.
Yeah, after I get that grant and we get the strategic plan, because I'd rather have a plan before we're really gonna get a plan together and give this to the board. When they come together, they'll have a plan. And we can move forward with that. We'll have a web page up and running, and then we point the board and get it going. Pass that over to those guys to look at, Tommy.
I'd like to also do the resolution for the tourism grant.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we need that.
What we do? Out in
You
Pat
second
Oak.
that, Tom?
I'll second.
Yeah, because out in Pat Oker and places like that, these trails, if we can get those going, that'll be great. We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to do the resolution as presented. Any other questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. HMC maintenance. All right, fellas. I talked to HMC maintenance. This is it's under the fund, but I'm gonna let you know what I'm doing here. Don't require a motion, nothing. But the tech center and the wellness center, both of those have geothermal. They have boilers, and requires. And we got quite a bit going on in both those facilities that need to be fixed. What I'd like to do, what I'm going to do, is enter into an agreement with these guys, and I've talked to them, I've met with them, I've took them and toured the facilities with them, and we can withdraw from this at any time. But this will get both those facilities where we can start doing preventive maintenance on them, as well as get the boilers, the air conditioning fixed, and everything else over at that library. That library building right now is. There's all kinds of stuff going on with it, from the basement all the way up to the floor with the. And we gotta start taking care of these facilities. And this is just the start. We gotta get the other facilities going too as well. In fact, while the HMC is gonna be here tomorrow, I'm gonna have them look at the pool and see what we gotta do and what it will cost us to fix that. And everyone here knows that thing from cradle to grave. That thing's in its grave. So.
You read my mind, didn't you?
Yeah. I know where you're going.
I saw you looking.
You're the Parks and Recreation guy, so.
So, speaking of that,
Yeah.
is there any way, and Kyle Reisner, when he hears this, is going to choke me, but is there any way that the city would chip in on that swimming pool?
They do. The city, they give us all the water for decades for free. And they do all the dumpster. They pay for all that. And they help in other ways too. They come up and help with us. And in the years, since I've been fooling with that pool, since I joined Kiwanis in 2010, I mean, the city's put in a lot of money into that. And so was the county, so was private businesses. One year I went around to all the banks and grabbed money. Somebody's got something to say back there. Anybody recognize him?
You're looking at about $16,000 since to get the motors going in that pool.
Yeah.
We, at Kiwanis last month, David McKenzie probably knows more about this than anybody.
Yeah.
And he said it was looking about $16,000. And don't know what else is wrong with it.
That's just the baseline.
Kiwanis ain't been involved in this. Jim will tell you over the last 4 years,
each donated a couple thousand.
When I was president of farms, but you're looking at some big money getting that thing going.
Yeah.
We talked about it last Monday, honestly. And it's just some nickel and dime stuff.
Yeah.
It's been, under the last 4 years, it's been run down so much, it's gonna take a lot of money to get it going back.
If we can afford to get it up and running again for another year, I'm all for that. I don't, but I'm also for looking at a long-term solution. And we're getting a splash park in, but everyone sitting here knows that's not gonna be the solution. That's all right for the little tykes, but somewhere down the road, that may be where we're gonna have to go out and look for the money and try to get another pool built. And that wellness center was designed to have a pool built onto it, so. But you know, it's gonna be
There was one of those trainings we were at that was talking about a grant, but it take about a year to get.
Yes. That's why I say this is a short-term solution.
Yeah.
We can go in there and put the basic amount of money into that. And Danny's saying approximately 16,000 to get it running and get it going, and that would get us. But you know what? That's what, for 4 months. You're paying $16,000 plus for 4 months.
I think you're doing the right thing. If we get HMC, I work with HMC. They do good work. They've got good people.
Mm-hmm.
They're a very diverse company. But if they go down and give us a good quote, we need a good hard quote. And I'm all for opening it. I've had calls. You've had calls this week. It's ramping up. The closer.
It's getting that time, so the calls are going to start coming in. They'll start calling that Kiwanis hotline, and they'll start calling the judges off.
You need a motion to enter into an agreement with HMC?
Oh, no, I don't need a motion to this. It's under $20,000.
Just discussion.
This is just discussion. I want to let everybody know what's going on and where we're going with this. What I'm going to try to do. If he gets into big money, I'll come back, and whatever they tell me, I'm going to take them down there tomorrow, and whatever they is it tomorrow they're coming, Linda? Yeah, in the morning. I'm going to take them down there in the morning, and we'll look at it. And then when I have a special call meeting for the equipment, we'll discuss that pool at the same time.
Jim, can I say something?
Yes, ma'am.
I was at the pool last summer and the summer before. I was kind of manager of it.
Yeah.
We do lose a lot of water down there.
Yeah.
And there is a valve right beside the inside reservoir or the holding tank that will not shut off because last year the pump burned up down in there. They put a pump down in it to pump all the water out, and they said when it was dry that the pump would kick off. When I got there the next morning, water was still bubbling up in it because there's a valve there that will not shut off. They called it a balloon.
Yeah.
They needed a balloon or something.
Yeah.
But the bunch that worked on it, I won't say no names. They came up there and sat a lot and didn't want to do a whole lot.
The guy coming tomorrow's got extensive experience with pumps and pools, so he knows what he's doing. And I'd rather go with somebody like that.
And with the pump out there, it started out with just bearings, I think, 'cause it was just barely leaking. And I don't know if y'all remember me telling the office about that. And then within a week, it was just pouring, and I went in one day and it was good.
That's where I'm talking about, it's about $16,000. And that ain't replacement, but that's probably taking us down to Moorhead and getting them rebuilt.
Yeah.
You're talking about major work.
Yeah, well, some years ago, we had to take that pump off and put it in the back of Danny McKenzie's truck and haul it to Moorhead Electrical to get it fixed last time.
I can't think of been gone a long time ago, for the banks here in this county. And you just gotta keep going back.
Yeah.
That, there's just nothing else.
There's nothing else. And the kids depend upon that pool for summer. We all know that. That's an integral part of our community. And that's why we got to look for a short-term and a long-term solution. As other counties are shutting down our pools, we're the only one in the surrounding area that's got an active pool. Brown County shut theirs down, and I think they finally shut theirs down too, didn't they? Brother shut theirs down, and I don't think this Wolf even had one. Menifee's got one? Yeah. So that's, we got kids. That doesn't just take care of kids here in West Liberty and Morgan County. There's kids that come from other surrounding counties to do this. So that's a huge part of this region too. But like I said, we'll look at it tomorrow, and I'll come back to you at that special call meeting with costs and all that, and we'll go from there. And we'll also start looking at these grants and stuff for a long-term solution as well, and see where we can go with that.
Can that come out of cost savings?
Possibly. We're gonna look at everything. Because, people coming in from around the area, that is, we're bringing, that pool brings people in from all around the regional area. Robin will tell you that, she's been down there, I've been down there. Robin, yeah, they all pop in here, so that's bringing people in. So, that's economic development. So, all right, that's the story on that.
When they had the fight, they had attendance of about 15, 16 a day, man, when that figures, so when it's free, everybody got every county around it.
Yeah.
That's why that tourism is good.
But now surrounding county paid.
That's why we need that tourism. All right. Okay, moving along. Property use agreement with the Board of Education and Morgan County Fiscal Court with the Joe Stacy Recreational Complex and Walking Track. That's the Equestrian Horse Park over there. We do this every year, right, Linda? Yeah. This is a normal thing we do, and we just need a motion to approve.
Second.
And what are we doing? Give us the words.
Motion to approve the property use agreement between Board of Education.
So we're just, all we're doing is approving that agreement again. All right. So we have a motion on the board.
No changes.
No changes.
The only
No.
thing that changes is the dates.
Is the dates, is the only thing that changes on.
I tried to get them to let us do 5 years, and I couldn't.
All right.
It has to be done in years.
All right, so we have a motion on the floor. It's been properly second to approve our annual our agreement with the Board of Education and Fiscal Court.
I think Jim's got a copy of it.
I got a copy of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm special.
Let's look at it.
And the local operational agreement? Which one is it? Adoption resolution, Morgan County Fiscal. Is this it? Property use agreement. There we go. Anybody need to see it? Tommy, you need to see it? You probably know. These other guys have seen it for 4 years. They don't even want to look at it again. So, all right. Okay, all in favor? Opposed? Motion carries. Vendor claims.
All right, we're back to the vendor claims. I'm asking you to ratify the payroll, and then also the vendor claims that are checked on here that have been paid since the last meeting. I ask you to ratify that, and then to approve the vendor claims that have been to be paid.
To be paid.
Is one motion okay with that?
Yeah, that's fine.
I'll make a motion.
We have a motion on the floor. It's been properly seconded to ratify the payroll, and the vendor claims has been paid, and approve the vendor claims to be paid. Any discussion or questions? All in favor? Opposed? Motion carries.
This was laying here, that's something we need to.
Yeah, what's this?
That was laying over here.
Yes, I got it too. What's this construction thing with oh, is this from down at the
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah, all that is, Zach Haney is heading this up, and he's out of town tonight.
Zach Haney.
Yeah, I should have said that. I should
Yeah, you should have kept that quiet.
But I did. So this is the first quote that he has gotten in. This is for the old Morgan County High School baseball field, which is now softball field and getting ready to be Little League softball, girls softball field. This field is in very desperate need. Bleachers, the bleachers are, the boards are broken, the concession stand, the plug cut the door off, it's just falling apart. And they added some ditching and tile and different things into the field. But he's got a couple more quotes coming. But everything grand total on this quote come out to $30,282.80. But this is county-owned property, and
Now, they're going to use the insurance money that we got to do any of this, or?
No, this would be what we talked about before, about maybe co-saving.
Oh, full servants and all that? So you're just looking just for discussion tonight and get this in front of everybody, or you're looking?
Yeah, he emailed to me about 4:30 this afternoon. Linda printed it off for me.
Yeah.
Told him I'll just bring it in and show everyone. Maybe we'll get more in before the special meeting. We can put it on around.
All right, okay, that sounds good, we can put it on that. So everybody look at this, and if we get some more information, we'll bring it to the special call meeting. So just for discussion. Okay, is there anything else on this agenda? Well, before we go to, is there anybody here to address the court? Any delegations? Anybody got anything to say? All right, Raina, would you please come forward, please? Sandy, was Sandy here tonight?
No.
All right. Up this way. Keep on coming.
Oh, all the way.
Keep on coming. All around over here, by this one, all the way around.
She's mad, she ain't this far.
Oh, whoa, what? Are you related to him?
Unfortunately, you better know it's on share.
I didn't
That's on
know.
share
Oh,
that.
you should be telling people that.
Yeah, I know.
All right, okay. All right, raise your, come over here, so she's trying to take a picture back there.
Oh,
too.
okay, all right.
Raise your right hand, repeat after me. I do solemnly swear or affirm, or I do
I
solemnly
do
swear,
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
I will support the Constitution of the United States of America
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and the Constitution of this Commonwealth,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
and be faithful and true to the Commonwealth of Kentucky,
as long as I continue a citizen thereof,
and as long as I continue a citizen thereof,
and that I will faithfully execute,
and that I will faithfully execute,
to the best of my ability,
to the best of my ability,
the office of Morgan County Water District Board Member.
the office of Morgan County Water District Board Member,
That's what he's going to do. According to the law.
according to the law.
And I do further solemnly swear,
I do further solemnly
this is the
swear,
important stuff now, that since the adoption of the present Constitution,
since the adoption of the present Constitution,
I being a citizen of this state,
I, being a citizen of this state,
have not fought a duel
have not fought a duel
with the deadly weapons
with deadly weapons
within this state,
within this state,
nor out of it,
nor out of it,
nor have I acted
nor have I acted
as a second in carrying a challenge,
as a second carrying a challenge,
yep, not aided or assisted any person,
not aided or assisted any person,
offending,
disoffending,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. I'll sign this and then get this please so you can have this, all right?
All right, thank
See Linda afterwards. All right, I believe that's all we got tonight, right? So I can entertain a motion to adjourn. If that's what? Oh, God, I forgot about that. All right, we're gonna go next door, right? All right, so we'll go ahead and, we're gonna go into a closed session and we're gonna go next door. You folks can stay here and sit if you want to, if you're gonna stay. So, and then we're gonna go into a closed session and then come back and, yeah, but we'll need a motion for that, so.
I make a motion to go into closed session. I'll say.
We have a motion on the floor, it's been properly seconded to go into closed session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let's go.